علي صوتك مع صوت ياهلا.
You are now listening to Imprint with Nesreen on Yahala Voice. From London, England to several parts of Canada and finally settling in the heart of Toronto, this talented Canadian Pakistani singer set music and the arts at the forefront. Determination has brought him to where he is today, and it was renewed as his life flashed before him from a serious car accident in 2011. It started out as a hobby and escalated quickly to his reality. He says that a true singer sings and writes from the heart. His passion and love for music, the mistakes, regrets, the good and the bad became his drive. He has fans in Pakistan, the United States, Canada, and all over the world. English, Desi, and an Arabic twist to his songs gives a uniqueness to his style of music. He says music at the end of the day is entertainment, and entertainment can only be truly enjoyed if it's felt within your soul. There must always be a deeper connection. It is my pleasure to welcome Pakistani-Canadian singer Sham Idrees on the show Imprint on Yahala Voice. How are you doing, Sham?
I'm very good. Thank you for inviting me here.
It's a pleasure.
To be part of the show.
It's a pleasure. As you quoted, there must always be a deeper connection. What is your connection?
I think my connection, a lot of the music that I make, I'd say a lot of the recent music that I've been making, it comes more from the connection. You know, I've been very active spiritually and connecting to my religious side as well. That's why I have recently been getting a lot into the nasheeds, and a lot of the fans know that I'm working on a nasheed album, inshallah, which is going to come out in Ramadan. It's 10 nasheeds. So, you know,
that's
something
great.
that I've really wanted to do from the beginning, but I was never around getting it earlier, and now I think it's time for me to really get in touch with my religious side as well.
And with those nasheed songs, is it going to be in what language?
It's going to be a mixture of English and Desi.
Great, great. Now, I want to go back to your background. I know that you went to university and graduated with a Bachelor's of Commerce degree. What were your plans originally with this degree?
Well, a lot of people don't know that I graduated from university and I used to work at Scotiabank. I used to be a financial advisor, which is a completely different field.
Definitely.
I went to university for finance. Initially, that's what I wanted to do in life, you know. After graduating university, I became a financial advisor. I worked at the banking for a while. But I just felt like there was a connection that was missing, you know. I was following a dream that wasn't really my own. It was just almost like following my parents' dream. They wanted me to get a business degree and, you know, do that thing. And I was working and I just didn't find myself. And after I had the car accident in 2011, and I had some time off work, obviously, and I was just in bed. I had broken my knee and just thinking a lot, writing a lot. That's when I wanted to do something completely different. So as I started to recover, that's when I got in touch with the musical side.
And many people don't really know about that car accident.
That's correct. It was a serious car accident that I had. I was the passenger in my friend's car, and somebody hit us from the side, and we went into like the side on the highway. So it was just very horrible. The car was totaled, and we were both hospitalized.
Well, we're glad that you're okay, and hopefully your friend is okay as well?
Yes, he is.
That's great. That's great to hear. And your singing career started as a hobby, but then it became your focus, as you just said. Your first song, if I'm not mistaken, was You Are the Fool.
Correct. That was a song that was written just very initially into my career. I wasn't really serious about music at that time. I wanted to get into the industry, but, you know, just that's my advice to a lot of people as well, that when you're starting out something, you know, you might not be that good at what you want to do. But if that's what you want to do, you continue to work hard, you continue to learn from it, and you get better. And I think that was my first step getting into the music industry. I didn't know much about it, but I knew I really wanted to do this. I felt passionate about it. I had to start somewhere. And after that song, I learned a lot. I learned a lot of mistakes and, you know, how to make it better, how to make better music, and how to better, you know. So I think that was the initial start. That's why that song doesn't really exist anymore. But I think it was a very good decision for me to start somewhere, because it made me look back at time and be like, you know, this is how I can improve.
You know, everyone starts somewhere, so you should never look at anything that you start as a negative, it's always positive. And of course, because of all those songs that we see now, we could definitely see that there was a lot of positives that came out of that initial song.
Exactly.
And your songs have a mix of English, Urdu, and Arabic. What led you to that type of a mix?
Well, initially I started with complete English. However, like I said, the music has to come from something that you feel within. And my mother's tongue is Urdu.
Okay.
So I guess we say a lot of Desi people. That's why I say I make the Desi music.
Yes.
And I just felt like that was just a lot more connection, because that's exactly what I speak at home with my parents, and with my brother or sister. So that's something that I definitely wanted to write in. And as I started with English, all of a sudden the Desi started to come in, and next thing I knew, I did a complete Desi song, which was Bolona. And then the attention that I got back, or the feedback that I got back from the community, was just insane. And I knew that that's something that I have to pursue.
And also with Dil Dil Pakistan, that was another song. And this song received much attention across many social media platforms. And on YouTube alone, it received over 100,000 views. And that's only the original video.
Correct. It's actually a lot more views on YouTube. The problem that I have with the market is a lot of people don't know that YouTube is blocked in Pakistan.
Okay.
So a lot of the fans that are sharing the video, and you can see the video even on Facebook, it's a viral post, has I think 30,000 likes and over 10,000 shares on it. It's gone viral in Pakistan for sure, and the shows that I perform, they always want me to perform the Dil Dil Pakistan, because how better is it going to get, right?
Yeah.
I'm Pakistani, and the song is about I love Pakistan.
About Pakistan.
That's as good as it gets.
And what was your goal with this song?
Well, my initial goal was, I'm Pakistani, and I wanted to do something for my community. I wanted to tell the community, that even though I live in Canada, but I haven't forgotten my roots, and I do love my country. And, initially when I started English music, people were kind of confused, thinking maybe, he just wants to speak English. Maybe he's not proud of his language, or what's happening. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to write a song which is going to be about Pakistan. I'm going to give it an English twist to it, but I'm going to continue to have the meaning and some Urdu and Desi behind it too,
So it was a bit of English and Urdu, Desi, and it was
exactly.
Okay. So why don't we take a listen to Dil Dil Pakistan, and we'll be back with more from singer Sham Idrees. And we're back on the show, Imprint on Yahala Voice, and you're listening to us on our main website, www.YahalaVoice.com. We have an exclusive interview with singer Sham Idrees. You could leave us your comments on our Facebook page, Yahala Voice, or text us to 708-321-1313. Sham, the next song I want to talk about is It's Love. What is the song about?
The song initially was the idea of my best friend, and he's like a brother to me, Carter Zahir. He initially had written the song. He wanted to bring flavor of just happy love song, because he said that all my songs to him were depressing. And he's like, I want to bring a happy flavor to it. And I said, okay, show me the idea. So we sat down in the studio together. He showed me. It was all written by him. So I'm just a singer in it, he's very talented with his writing. And obviously I like the idea. I'm like, yeah, I definitely want to bring something positive. And on top of that, because I was working on a lot of Desi songs, so when he brought the idea for a complete English song, I was like, that's something I want to do for sure. So that's where it started from.
And is there a reason why you were triggering your music to more of a sad or depressing zone?
I think the reason is because after my accident, a lot of the stuff that I was writing was probably sad, because you're hurt, you're in bed, and you're just kind of depressed, I guess, in a way, after the accident, because you don't really know. You have a lot of faith in God, but you're just feeling like, I can't go to work, I can't do a lot of things. Am I going to be okay? My leg is going to be perfect. Am I going to be able to run? There's so many questions. And you're just feeling a little bit down, and, a lot of people can use that time to be productive instead of being negative. So I tried to write a lot of stuff, a lot of painful stuff, which ended up becoming positive in the future, you know? So you got to start somewhere, and that's why I think I was writing a lot of depressing music.
And how about the majority of your songs? Are they written by you?
Yes, all the songs are written by me.
And then you have another song out about love as well, but it has a different twist to it. It's titled Bola Nan. Nah, I'm sorry.
Bolana, yes.
Bolana. Okay.
Bolana was my first ever Desi song, like 100% Desi song that was written. And I think it's very close to me is because the way I describe Bolana is it's a tone, it has a little bit of sad tone to it, but it's just in a tone in which a guy is in love with a girl and he is unable to express how he feels because she's doing the same thing to him. So they both love each other, but they cannot express it, you know? And I think that was a very good title, and that's why people loved it when it came out.
And the music video really paints a nice picture for this song as well. Who comes up with the ideas for your music videos?
So that's a very good question. A lot of people don't know that from the beginning to the end, it's always me behind the picture. So when I write a song, I already picture the music video. I already know what it's going to look like. I know what the tour is going to be. That's the reason why I was in New York about a month ago for the Shorty Awards, because I was nominated for the Best Director of 2013.
Yes, tell us about that. I would love to hear more about that.
Well, New York, it was a very good experience with Shorty Awards. A lot of people don't know they call it the Shorty Awards, right? They're based on the Twitter, so I had like thousands of votes on Twitter. So fans nominated me to go to New York. They flew me down there. It was just a very good experience. I got to meet a lot of good people. And, I mean, even though I didn't win, because I was up against people which have, 10 million likes on their fan pages, but it was an honor to be part of the 5 people that got selected as, top directors.
Definitely, it's an achievement on its own. And, of course, you work, as you said earlier, with Carter Zahir, with many of your songs and music videos. With your songs and music videos, is a collaboration of thought that you two come up with together?
Yeah. I mean, as far as the music videos that we have done together, they're always our ideas accumulative. Whenever he does individual songs, obviously it's just his own ideas, or whenever I do individual songs, it's my ideas. But when we do a song together, we sit down together, we break down every detail, This is what we want to do, this is what the music video would be like, sometimes there's disagreement. But the good thing is that me and him, we usually have very similar visions.
That always helps, huh?
Vision the song, and that helps,
We're going to get into more detail with your collaboration with Carter Zahir, as well as other individuals after we listen to the song, It's Love. And we're back on the show Imprint on Yahala Voice on our main website, www.YahalaVoice.com, with an exclusive interview with singer Sham Idrees. Sham, your career started in 2012.
Correct.
It's 2014. That's 2 years. And I just want to point out, on your Facebook page, you have over 400,000 likes. That transition on its own is huge.
I think it's just a lot of community love, to be honest. Like, to me, what matters more is that it's not just the amount of likes you have on the page. It's how many people are talking about me per week, and usually it's anywhere between 400,000 to 500,000 people, And I think that's very good. It's because, unlike a lot of people, I don't just do the singing, I also do a lot of different videos. I'm very active with the community as far as like the funny vines concerned, making those short 8-second videos and just always coming up with new competitions with the fans and interacting at a completely different level,
Yes, I realize that you take the time to connect with your fans on a personal basis. You comment back on Facebook, you retweet their Twitter questions or comments, you do vlogging. How do you keep up with all that?
Well, the way I see it is this, fans are everything. Without fans, you're nothing. So what you can definitely do, a lot of people, I'm always traveling, I'm always going on tour as well, but what I do is I set aside 30 minutes a day, to catch up with the fans. So that 30 minutes, either I could be, replying to people, Facebook, could be Twitter, tweets, could be anything, but I just have to spend that 30 minutes for the fans. And that ends up being a lot, because even if you catch up with, let's say, 10 fans a day, that becomes a lot of fans, over a period of 6 months.
And many artists don't really realize that. They have many fans, but they don't take the time to interact with them.
Correct, and that's something that differentiates, and the fans that do talk to me one-on-one, they become a fan for life. They become very active after they have the conversation because I get to talk to them on a personal level, and they're very shocked because I make that time.
And another thing I wanted to mention is you have contact with True Story ASA, specifically Sheikh Akbar and Adam Saleh.
That's correct.
Can you tell us about your collaboration with them?
They're just really nice guys. I had my management initially contacted them for them to feature on one of my songs, which was called Nashaha with Carter Zahir.
Mm-hmm.
And we flew them down from New York to Toronto. We spent a weekend with them, and we just really hit it off. We became really good friends to the point that 2 weeks after that, they were just coming back every weekend on their own, and we were just hanging out, doing shows together,
That's very nice.
And what that happened is that led us to the Ferrari prank that we did, and we all ended up going to Las Vegas, and it was just a blast.
Tell us about the Ferrari prank.
So the Ferrari prank is almost 10 million views on YouTube, and it went viral. Ferrari.com even shared it, and there was many famous websites that had shared the video. It was just a lot of fun. Initially, the idea came from Adam Saleh, who wanted to make a video with an exotic car and see people's reactions, especially girls. And I thought, this was a fantastic idea because I was already shooting a music video in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And I had the Ferrari for 2 days. So I said, you know what? Why don't we just do it the same day? And we'll have the whole day to shoot. And they loved the idea, so we all met in Vegas.
So it was a bit of a collaboration between you. It was Carter there as well?
No, Carter couldn't make it because Carter was actually shooting a music video in Ottawa, his hijabi queen.
Let's get into your song, Tum Hi Ho. The song is about romance, about a lover sharing his happiness with the world. And the song is from an Indian movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
What led you to remake the song?
What I wanted to bring to Tum Hi Ho was, it was basically just based on fan requests. So many fans said that they wanted me to remake Tum Hi Ho with a little bit of English in it. Because a lot of people don't understand the Tum Hi Ho, right? They definitely wanted some English into it. So I figured, okay, I don't want to destroy the song by changing the initial lyrics or the flavor of the song. But what I can definitely do is I can change one of the verse and turn it into English. But I didn't want this to be like a cover. So we traveled to California, and that's where we shot the music video.
What's really interesting is that there are, like you said, two versions to the song. One is in Urdu and one is in English. And the person featured in the second version is actually your brother, Mo Idrees.
That's right.
Tell us about that.
Initially, I always wanted to put Mo in a song, but my older brother Mo, he has a beautiful voice, but he just does not want to sing. You know, I had to really push him, and I was when I showed him the song, he loved it. So he's like, okay, I will make an exception. And it took me forever to get him into the studio.
Yeah.
And let alone shooting the music video, but eventually we got everything done, and we love the final product.
It seems as if you have a very talented family.
Alhamdulillah.
Let's listen to the song Tum Hi Ho, and we'll be right back with more.
हम तेरे बिन अब रह नहीं सकते, तेरे बिना क्या वजूद मेरा.
Yahala Voice, the Arab voice in America. And we're back on the show Imprint on Yahala Voice, and you're listening to us on our main website, www.YahalaVoice.com. Sham, as you mentioned earlier, you are of Pakistani descent and a Muslim. Does this have an effect on the lyrics you write for your songs?
Yeah, I mean, I always have to be careful because, a lot of people, they do get some judgmental from time to time. However, the way I see music is that I write about positive stuff, I don't write things about drinking or, things like that. So I'm always trying to write positive lyrics so that the youth that is listening to me looks for better stuff, better vision in the future instead of thinking about the bad stuff.
And you have a song out named Prophet Muhammad, We Love You, and this song is in Urdu, and you also have one named Mashallah.
That's correct. They basically, both of them have a little bit of Urdu and English in it, so give a bit flavor of both.
And you said earlier you said you were working on a nasheed album?
Yes, coming out inshallah this Ramadan. And our plan is that we will be releasing 10 videos for it as well. So one video is going to be out every 3 days. So we've been putting a lot of effort in that lately.
So you said how many songs? I apologize. How many songs are in the album?
So there's going to be 10 new nasheeds.
10 new nasheeds.
So 30 days of Ramadan. So one new nasheed is going to come out every 3 days.
Oh, nice.
So it's going to be a very amazing thing for the Muslim community.
Definitely. We look forward to that. I want to talk about your YouTube series. It's called Adventures of Sham Idrees. Some people might not even know that you have a cartoon series out there. What is it about?
Adventure of Sham Idrees was a collaboration with Animation One. It's just a funny series. So what they did is they took a lot of aspects of my life and they just put some comedy into it. Like conversations with my dad, or me traveling, or me meeting Carter, or me meeting Adam, Sally, and Sheikh Akbar, and just things like that. It was just a really, really funny series. Especially the first 10 episodes were just hilarious because they were just based on everything that happens in my household. So if you haven't checked it out, you should definitely YouTube it.
And talking about comedy, I realize that you have lots of videos that you put up on Vine and on Facebook of funny things that happen in a Pakistani family, or something your parents might say, or something that you might say. Tell us about that.
That's correct. It all started, I have to give the credit, I'd say, to Carter, because he had initially done a Vine with me, which was a Pakistani trying to speak Arabic. And the fans loved it, and people were just, they wanted more. So that just led into me making more and more wines, to the point that before I know it, there's like 20 wines I've already made.
How about the feedback that you get on these vines?
It is just phenomenal. Every single wine that I release, I remember recently I had put a status up that if this status gets 1,000 likes, I will release a wine. And I'd say in a matter of 10 minutes, it was 1,200 likes.
Oh, wow. That's above and beyond what you were asking for, too.
Exactly.
It seems as if, and it's evident that you have a huge fan base. How about your concerts and events? Where have you performed?
I have performed a lot of different places. I've performed a lot of Toronto community. I've performed with big artists. I think one of the recent shows I did was the Markham Mela. It was near Toronto. There was a crowd of 10,000 people. I've performed along many well-known artists like Imran Khan, Falak Shabir, Noman Khalid, Carl Wolf. A lot of different people. And the best thing that I find about performing with these artists is a lot of them already know who I am. And, we have good conversation. So that's something that makes me feel very good.
Yes.
I have had meet and greets at different cities, from New York to UK, London, to Toronto, Mississauga, and a lot of different places.
So meet and greet, what happens at these meet and greets?
So meet and greets were usually, we advertise it, just before the day of the meet and greet, and we just tell fans to come. And what happened is we did a meet and greet in Toronto, me, Carter, Adam, Sheikh, and Kareem. And we were expecting, because we had just advertised it the day off, and we were expecting, maybe 50 people show up. But what happened is over 300 people showed up, and then they had to close the theater down. And obviously we didn't have the permission because we weren't expecting such a big crowd. And next thing you know, like the cops came, and then we had to leave. And they're like, "What's happening here? Is it an event? You have to get permission." We were just like thinking we were just going to meet a few fans,
Wow.
So it's actually that video is on one of my Instagram videos, so you can see there's a lot of people there.
And then how about your performances? I know that you've performed in Canada. Have you ever thought about performing in other countries or Pakistan?
Yes, I am right now. I'm be traveling to UK. I'm coming to Manchester on June the 7th. I'll be performing there with Carter and Tasha Tash, another artist from the UK.
Great.
After that, I'll be performing a few events in Toronto. There's an event called Desi Fest, which is on the May 31st. It's expected crowd of 40,000 people, so it's a very big crowd. And then I'm also traveling to Pakistan for tour. A lot of cities for 3 months, so it's going to be a big opportunity for me this winter.
Pakistan. So where are you traveling in Pakistan?
I'm traveling to Islamabad, I'm traveling to Lahore, I'm traveling to Karachi and many other cities. The way it all happened is the organizers became very involved because I had initially put a status up about a month ago that I want to come to Pakistan to perform. Tell me which city you guys live in, you know? And within a day, the status had like 1,800 comments from different cities.
Oh, wow.
So the organizers loved it. They're like, you know, we definitely want to capitalize on these fans that want you there.
How about the States, Sham? You can't forget the States.
Well, I am coming to States. There's an event being finalized. It's just going to be an Islamic event. I'm coming there with Muhammad Ziyara. It's the 15th of August. The details are to be released soon.
And where are you coming exactly?
I'm coming to Texas. And more details will come as we confirm the event.
That's great. Keep us updated. Keep us posted. We would love to know where your concert or your event is going to be.
Inshallah, I have to come see you guys in Chicago soon.
Yes, and you need to come to the studio. We would love to have you here, and we'll have another interview with you, and it would be a pleasure.
Pleasure will be all mine.
Sham, before we let you go, please let all our listeners know how they can get in contact with you and keep up to date with all your upcoming songs and concerts or events.
Well, the best way to contact me, I guess, is Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. The good thing is, whenever you're looking on a social network, all you have to search is my full name, which is ShamIdrees. So YouTube /Sham Idrees, Facebook /Sham Idrees, Twitter, same thing with Instagram. So just write Sham Idrees, or I mean, if you really, really get lazy, you can always Google it and it'll take you right there.
That's great. You made it very easy for all of our listeners. It was a pleasure to have you on the show, Sham, and we look forward to a future visit to Chicago.
Thank you for having me, guys, and keep up the amazing show.